It's taken me a while to get around to making this video, but finally here it is. Oh, wait on. Better. Many months ago, somebody from this company, Kebtek, contacted me and asked me if I wanted to review these pruning shears. And because I'd already done the other pruning shear videos and I love those other pruning shears, which you may have seen, I would have it here next to this one to show you, but my wife is up at her mother's at the moment and she has taken it with her to do some pruning in the garden. I will say that I think this one is better than that Makita battery knockoff one. And that other one is losing its power. It doesn't seem to cut now. Nowhere near as good. You know, you can't cut thick stuff with it anymore. It goes to cut and then just backs off all the time. So I'm not exactly sure why that is. Anyway, this tool was sent to me free of charge and I accepted it because not only was it a pruner, and I use these things all the time, I use this tool every single day. I use it for trimming branches for parrots and it is super handy for that. But I accepted it not because it was this tool, but because it came with this. This is an extension pole, which I thought, hey, that's cool. It'll be super handy if you can trim stuff up high with one of these things instead of having to get a pole chainsaw out. So this extension, which is a little bit hard to show in here on the workbench, but we'll take a look at it outside in a moment, gives you an extra 1800 millimeters of cut, 1.8 meters, 6 feet. So you can reach up quite high and trim small branches, which makes it super cool. And it all folds up, so it folds down to about 600 long. But I suggest you buy it, put it in its full position, and then screw it up solid, because the connections that come with it are rubbish, and these, they just don't work. So you need to basically just put a couple of bolts through it and leave it done up at its full length, and just hang it up in your garage or workshop somewhere. You can't use it when it's collapsed anyway, so it's really only any good folded up for shipping and long-term storage, potentially something like that, shifting house. But otherwise just hang it on your wall and be done with it. Now when this tool was sent to me, it was sent to me in this case and the extension pole was separate. I see now on Amazon that you can get it in a bigger box with the fold up extension bar in it, so that's an option, or you can just buy it without the extension in a kit. And it came with a strap, which as you can see I get a lot of use out of. A manual. Comes with some tools for adjusting your tool. It comes with an empty oil bottle, but most importantly it comes with spare blades. You also get another battery, so you get two batteries, the blades, the tool, the charger. So the charger will charge both batteries at once. Very simple, just plugs in the top like so. The batteries are quite different to most of the batteries that you see on power tools these days. It has these two little sort of ball bearings that you twist the battery onto the tool, which I'll show you in a moment, and then it pushes those ball bearings down to make the contact with your tool. It also has a USB port on the top there for charging your phones and other such things. I haven't actually tried that. Right, let's see if the USB works, see if it'll power this Makita battery checker. Yay, it does. Cool. So the battery goes on like this. You plonk it on top, give it a twist, and then you lock it in place with that. Different, eh? This is the first tool I've owned that has a twist off battery. On, off like that. Very strange. Okay, now to the tool itself. Power button. Push it for a couple of seconds. 1, 2. We're on. You'll then get a number. 1419 came up at the bottom there if you saw it. When I turn it on, take note of the number at the bottom of this little screen. So 1419. That's how many cuts this tool has done in total. Not just on this battery charge or whatever. It remembers every single cut it's done. So that's kind of cool. You know how much work you've done with the tool. So I've done over 1400 cuts with this, and now that has zeroed out, so it will tell you how many cuts you've done on this particular use of the tool, not on the battery, but while it's turned on this particular time. It will then add that to the other number. Next time you turn it on, it'll say 1425 or whatever. So we're on 84% battery there too. That's what that top number is inside the battery. The battery lasts ages. This is the second charge I've ever used on this tool. I haven't even had to use the other battery yet. When I got the tool, the battery was on about 60% charged. I used that till it conked out. Once it got down to about 25%, I think it stopped working. I then charged it up, and it just lasts for ages. It's been on the tool now for the last, I don't know, weeks, and it just doesn't go down very quick at all. You can get a lot of cuts on one charge. You probably get 1,000 cuts on one battery charge, which is pretty damn good. So once you have it turned on, just like that Makita knockoff one, you give it a couple of taps and away you go. Pull the trigger, very quick. It's much quicker than that Makita one. This has a cutting capacity, I do believe it was 40 mil. You're unlikely to probably cut through something 40 mil in one pass unless it's very soft. I love that. It's so satisfying using these tools. If you've never used one of these pruners before, they're just so cool. It's just so easy. And the sound and the movement and everything, it's just very satisfying. As you can see, I take extra good care of this particular one. It gets cleaned after every use. Look at it, filthy. There it is, look, max cutting range, 40 mil. Oh, it's even got a model number on the Kebtek 840. Battery says it's 25 volts and 2000 milliamp hours. I haven't opened it up to check what's actually in there. Maybe another video. Now you just heard the thing beep. It's now locked itself out. It's got a little safety lockout, just like the other one does. So now to reactivate it again, double click and away you go. This is fully open. You can change it so that it doesn't go through the full range of motion if you're cutting very small things. So if you pull the trigger, hold it. Right, now let go. Now it's only opening halfway. If you want to go back, push and hold again. Now we're fully open. When I want to turn it off, I hold my finger on it so that it stays shut. Wait for a double beep. Now when you take your finger off the trigger, it stays closed. And then tap the power button to turn it off. Simple as that. Now suppose you want to see it cut something. This is pine. It is 42 millimeters wide and 12 millimeters thick. That's half an inch thick. Look at this. Probably better cutting that end. Just massacres it. Anyway, tree time. I cut a lot of bamboo with this thing. It's very good. Small stuff, no problem. Just goes through so easy. Something at max capacity. Piece of cake. Now once you've modified your pole here and put some decent bolts in it, you can start cutting things from a long way away. And you do that like this. Pole, tool. Same as putting the battery on. Lock it in place with the little lever thing on the side here. And look at that. How cool is that? On the other end, same as you would on the tool, but with the battery. Done. I can now cut something that's 2 meters away from me. Sweet. So I've just had a look on Amazon, and these are a bit more expensive than most of the pruners on there, but I think it is better than those other ones, and you get a lot more with it. You get the 2 batteries, you can use them as chargers for your phone, etc. You get the spare blades. It's hard to get the blades for some of those other ones, as I'm sure some of you are aware. If you have an elderly member in your family, if you're elderly, if you love to garden, then this is a very cool tool. As you get older, you know, the old arthritis in the fingers, don't have to worry about that with this. There's no pressure required. You just tap that and away it cuts. It does all the work for you. So thanks, Barb, for being so patient with me. Barb has sent me emails for the last 6 months, about every 2 or 3 weeks or so. I thought she'd pretty much given up, but she sent one about a week or so back. Look, I've finally done it. I couldn't do it without leaving it a decent length of time though, right? And make sure that it was actually a good tool. How many cuts am I up to now? Let's take a look. 1,597. So she's done 1,600 cuts for me. It's lasted really well. I haven't had to make any adjustments yet. I haven't even cleaned the blade, as you can see. It's pretty grubby. I like it. I think it's a cool tool. It's one of those tools, every time you use it, it just gives you a little buzz, you know. It's just so cool to use. It's just so nice and quick and easy. It just, yeah, very neat to use. I'm surprised more bigger companies haven't released these yet, although I'm pretty sure they're on the way. Anyway, if you want one of these, check out the links down in the description below, and I will see you on another video real soon. If you like tool reviews, I do a ton of them down there, up in the corner, wherever. Subscribe, you know how to do it. See ya.